2 of Rain Change and sundry topics that I might get off onto. Now, if you go to rainchain.com, I'm advertising for this company, which is way overpriced. It's probably not that overpriced when you consider what had to go through it to make these things. Okay, so they've used copper, and they've made funnels, copper funnels. And they're in a line, hanging. And so the rain goes into the first copper funnel, and because of the nature of the funnel, and because the whole thing is not held firm, it's moving slightly when the rain hits it. So it doesn't just go straight through the hole, it's hitting the side, and so it's spinning around, the water is a bit. And then when the water comes out of the hole, it's still spinning around a bit, so you have it hitting your next one on a bit of an angle. Okay, so now if you put a string around the top of your funnel, say you were to do this with plastic funnels. What if you made funnels out of birch bark? Ha! There's a thought. Birch bark is waterproof. What if you made funnels out of birch bark? And you could just use, I'm thinking of the quick and easy way to do it without having to go to all the work of cutting them and sewing them so that they become perfect funnels. What if you just, used a clothespin? You squeeze the bark in such a way and then you clothespin it. You can't clothespin it at the bottom, you could, but the clothespin is going to send the water off at an angle. Trying to get the water to follow something like that strap I had into the window box, it doesn't necessarily do it. However, if you reach up and touch the hole with your hand or your finger, you can be absolutely sure that it's going to go all the way up your sleeve, down your arm, and all the way down inside of your clothes. I mean, you'll really be wet from such a thing. So, water does follow paths. If you give it a path, it should follow it somewhat. Okay, so that's one idea, is making funnels out of birch bark and then hanging them one on top of each other so that they are going to be in a straight line. Because once again, if you try and hang them all on one side with fishing wire, the fishing wire is going to be what's there and the things are going to be over to the side. That's right. And that's the truth. They had other rain chains. Like you could use chain from the hardware store. You could use a chain from an old lamp. Sometimes they hide the wire in a chain. It's quite a good idea, using a chain to hide the wire so you can drape it across the room. So those chains are free if you could find them at the dump or something. All right, and then I'm going too fast. 40 kilometers an hour is only 25 miles an hour. And I don't think my cruise control works at 40. Oh yeah, look at that, it is. It's working. Good. That'll keep me from pushing the pedal. Okay, so another idea. They had anything that will hold water, whether it's, like even a copper leaf. You could have a copper leaf and it's all it's hitting at one side and draining to the other side, hitting then at the outside of the leaf and draining to the stem on the next one, and vice versa. So you'd have to have them fixed at both ends so that they're not going to rotate independently of each other and leave you with water that isn't hitting anything. I like the idea of copper leaves. I would love to work with copper. I've always wanted to do that. Make a beautiful copper fountain or something. Ah, a fountain. You still need a pump, but you have the water. What are other rain chain ideas? I have these little things that I got for Christmas. It's a little string, and on it are little Christmas trees. I have a few of those. They're not always all Christmas trees, but I would hang them and then clothespin Christmas cards to them. Or you can hang them sideways, horizontally, and hang your cards on them. But I took one the other day and I hung it from the drip in the eaves, and I have yet to, it hasn't rained yet, so I'm not sure if it's going to work yet, but it would go down the string, hit the little Christmas tree, go all over the Christmas tree, and then go to the next, go back down the string, I think. Maybe not. All right, kitty, you have to get out of the road. All right, well, I'm picking somebody up, so I guess I have to get off of the phone. Get off of the, whatever this thing is. Camera. What time is it? 10 after 9. Not bad. All right, well, I'll talk to you later. But I really like talking about these rain chains. Bye.